Hey guys, what's up? It's Yana. Welcome to day 10 of Camp NaNoWriMo July 2023. This is a very impromptu video. I don't have my camera with me and I'm just in the park where I just ended up by accident because I just had lunch with a friend and I kind of didn't want to go home immediately, so I just kept walking and I ended up here. It's also kind of starting to rain and it looks very overcast, but it's also very warm, even though it doesn't look it. Anyway, I just thought I may as well do the video from here since I'm here. And today what I'm thinking about is romantic relationships. I'm gonna work on the romances in all of my projects because all of them have some element of romance, even though only one of them is kind of more heavily focused on, no, actually two of them are more heavily focused on the romance. And my topic today is the 5 things that I absolutely need to see in a fictional romantic relationship, although that kind of also goes for real romantic relationships. And I just thought it'd be fun to kind of just list my favorite things about romance and the things that I think are really important. I'm in a really awkward position as well, just leaning on a wall here, but never mind. So for me, in a romance, and what I'm going to be focusing on making sure my couples have today, in no particular order, number 1, they need to have banter. Okay, I don't like reading about couples who can't make a joke or can't be funny together or can't be sassy with each other. There has to be some humor in it for me to enjoy it, to enjoy reading about it, and also in real life as well. I feel like that's something that it's a good thing to have with your partner. Obviously it depends, you might not need that, but I do. So number 1 is banter. I think that's really important, and that takes skill to write, although it is one of my favorite things to write. I feel like as soon as they're kind of teasing each other and joking with each other, it really flows, and I can write that for a very long time. I can spend hours just writing dialogue with 2 characters bantering. Number 2, really important for me personally, is that they have interests in common. I know that a lot of people say opposites attract, and that may be true to some extent. You can kind of complement each other and learn from each other. But for me as a person, and also in writing and reading, I prefer it when I can easily see how these 2 characters would be spending time together, whether they have similar hobbies or they're interested in the same things or they have similar opinions on things, so they can share that with each other. So common interests, really important to me as well. Number 3, although not so low on the list in terms of importance, is communication. I do not like reading about ridiculous misunderstandings. A misunderstanding every once in a while can be fun, and it does happen, but if basically your entire conflict is based on your characters being completely incapable of talking to each other like normal people, then that's not going to be fun for me to read, and it's also not fun to write. So I really try to avoid that in my writing as well, where I'm just shoehorning in drama because these 2 people just can't talk to each other, and then if they did talk to each other, everything would be solved in 5 minutes. I try to come up with problems that are genuinely difficult to solve, and the only issue is not the characters not being able to communicate. So that was number 3, communication. Number 4 is touch. I think it's quite important how the characters not only communicate to each other with words, but how they communicate physically. And this doesn't necessarily need to be very sexual or very passionate. It can be very kind of simple and very sweet. There can be just little touches that are mentioned, but for me to enjoy it, they do need to be on the page. I need to be able to imagine what these characters are physically doing, even if it's something as small as just brushing somebody's hand. And actually sometimes that can be more effective. So physical touch and what their physical relationship is like is very important as well, and I feel like that should come through in the writing. And then number 5, last but not least, I believe that 2 characters should be able to be their own separate people as well, and not only exist in the relationship. Again, a very, very important one for me, because I have to be, in order for me to root for these characters to get together, I have to like both of them as people. Very often I will read a book and I maybe like one of the characters, and the other character is very clearly just written to be their partner. And I usually end up thinking the character that I like could probably do better, find somebody a bit more interesting or a little bit more right for them. So they have to be independent, they have to be separate people. I have to like them individually for their unique qualities, and they also, as people, should be able to exist without the other one. I have to be able to imagine that even outside of these relationships, these people will be able to survive and be themselves. So these are my 5 super important things in a romance. Obviously, I'd be very curious to know what yours are. I will go and get some waffles now, and then I will go home because I don't have my laptop with me, which, damn, I should have just taken my laptop and I could have worked out here for a bit. But I'm going to go get some waffles, and then I'm gonna go home and I'm gonna work on those romances. Thanks very much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!